I wanted to continue this conversation. What's up, my brother?
Everything's good, man.
You will now
got some advice for you.
Monthly
for
contributor
real
to the show at this point.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Listen, y'all ever need an ad, a testimonial, something, bro?
I'll do it right now.
I'm up on calls, bro. I'm up. First off,
Shands.
Dave Shands, what's up, my brother? So Dave, we had a conversation offline, but you know, I think that what you said is vitally important because I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people that kind of feel the same way. So I'll give the audience the background if they're not familiar. Dave Shands, this was 6 months ago, maybe.
January 11th.
January.
Yeah.
And Dave Shands, I walked Dave Shands through his first option play. He never made an option play before, right?
Absolutely. I was like, yo, what
took you like you didn't know, like, but long story short, he got into an AMD call. And the AMD call was a roller coaster. It was up, then it was down, then it was down more, then it was down really bad. He stayed with it. Called me a few times asking, should he sell? He was like, yo, if you sell, let me know, because I'm in the call with him.
No, can we add a piece to this story?
Yeah.
I'm getting the call like, yo, bro, you sure about this?
Rashad didn't pick up, bro. Like, yo, what we doing?
Like, bro, just trust me on this one. Just trust me on this one.
So fast forward to now, he's up 300. How much you up? 300 and what?
Well, today I'm down $15.
Percentage wise, how much you up since you've been in
Stop
there?
it, David.
I don't want to hear this shit, y'all. All I ask since you got 2 plaques on the wall talking about I'm down $15.
Let me hate $15, but I'm up 378%, up $22,000. Things are happening right now.
Oh, you're giving out dollar amounts. Okay.
My children say hello. My children say thank you.
So Shands is up 338% in less than 1 year. Okay, but you had a vital. You text me today, and you was concerned about AMD going into earnings. So you said, should you sell? So this is something that, like I said, a lot of people knowing when to sell is something that a lot of people have questions about. Making 300% and not wanting to lose money is a valid concern for sure. So these are all things that I'm sure a lot of people have the same questions about, right? And I just think it's dope because you're a content creator and you're in the space and you're learning in real time. So we're going to talk about our advice to you, but what's your emotions right now as far as this option trade so far?
I have earnings call past trauma, bro. I've experienced trauma.
In which company?
Netflix, bro. Netflix hooked me. You hear me?
But let's help with your trauma. Let's fix your life.
Yeah.
Nvidia earnings and Netflix earnings are different from AMD. So I know that pain is still there, but first and foremost, when you got into the option, did you know what percentage gain you wanted to get before you exited?
You asked me this in front of people here? Come on, these are like behind the scenes conversations, bro.
We're coaching. Welcome to Traders Therapy. Like, with the interim Rashad, new segment, Traders Therapy.
No, I didn't.
This is the trading hot seat.
Hey.
That might be a show.
Hey, you be flaming. Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I did not.
Well, you know, the earnings cooked a lot of people. Meta notoriously, I mean, they just dropped $80 last week,
which was unbelievable. Yep.
Before that, Meta, they had the worst drop in history a few years ago. So that earnings can definitely hurt, especially if it's options, because whatever you feel in the stock, you're gonna feel 3 times more in an options call. So that's a valid concern that you have.
Quick question, Dave, around the Netflix, because did you buy the call leading into earnings, or you've been in the call already?
No, I've been in it, and then it was like a
okay.
Ooh, it was a slide. But then I was buying down though, like when it dropped. I think it's gonna come up. Yeah, I'm still getting cooked right now, but it's part of
you believe in the company?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Long term.
Okay.
All right. So Dave Shands wants to know, should he sell AMD before earnings? What's the unanimous decision?
No, hold on. Let me tell you what happened. So I said it before the call. And then one of y'all on the speaker was like, yo, the call is the next year. So he didn't give me financial advice, but the way he said it was, it's secure. I said, okay, I'm gonna chill.
You have another year to work through whatever precipitous decline or upside that they have. And the thing that we're trying to stress to you, because you're starting off, well, you're like Otani, you start off with a home run. Stay in for the long term, because not only will your confidence get built off of this win, look how many people in your family lives you'll be able to guide and help through the same kind of situation. So don't get out early. And I think it's a mistake for any trader or any investor to only look at the short side, because what if you miss out on another 120% to the upside?
Yeah, I think
here's my question too. But so how do you know? So the last time I was on Market Mondays, like we had the testimonial, joint shot up, and I only have 2 contracts. And one of the advice was like, yo, you could just sell one and then keep the other. But if I'd have done that, I'd have missed out on a whole bunch of money. So how do I know, like, what's the top, or do I just ride it out, period? Or am I looking for something?
I think that's what the entering, knowing where you're going to exit the position before you enter it plays in, right? So I always say, like, I like to get 100% return if I'm investing. And so if I bought 10 contracts, or like you did, you bought 2 contracts, if I get to 100%, then my initial investment comes out.
So
it gives me the capital to say, all right, if the one that I still have remaining continues to grow, now I can re-enter perhaps a later position because I believe in the company so much, and maybe get 3 contracts, right? Because it's going to be a little bit cheaper. So you always got to have the position mapped out, which is why I always say buy time, right? So when you bought that, and I think it's important, your story is important, your testimony is important, because this wasn't a home run at first, right? Like, I think people need to realize that, like, when you bought the call, it actually pulled back because DeepSeek happened at the end of January, right? And then April 7th happened and we saw a pullback, but you didn't sell, right? You kept it. So it actually was a negative contract that actually turned out to be a 300%, which is why when we started the show was like, well, what's your stop loss? Well, if Dave put a stop loss, he would have sold all that and missed out on
all the upside.
Right. But also, if like, let's say, for instance, my target was to be up 200%. If I'd have hit the 200% and I'd have sold, I would. I would be upset. You know what I mean? Like right now.
Yeah, for sure. So the thing about it is this: you can never lose by taking profit. Also, ChatGPT is your mentor, so you should be having daily conversations with ChatGPT because it's not going to tell you exactly what's going to happen, but it's going to give you a very educated sentiment of everything that's happening in the world. The good thing with ChatGPT is that at the end of it, because how I use ChatGPT, I ask it a question and it types it out, but I'll hit the record because 9 times out of 10 I'm too busy to read a bunch of different stuff. So it voices it. It's like a voice, summary. Right? It'll say, okay, da, 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 da. And then they say, okay, now is this sufficient or do you want more? So it'll tell you the traps, the highlights, what to look forward to. You know, are they still bullish on the situation as far as the market sentiment? What are all of the analysts saying in aggregate? What's fueling it? It's the AI. It's the AI crave, right? What could be potentially harmful to it? So do you have a better, instead of guessing, right? Instead of guessing to say, is it going to go up? Is it not going to go up? Who knows? You can have daily conversations. So it's almost like you're getting, so like a CEO gets daily reports from his company because they don't know exactly everything that's going on in the company. If the company's so big, you can't know everything that's going on. So the leadership has to report. It's like government. Leadership has to report to the person to give them a briefing.
Got it.
So you can structure AI to have briefings on a daily basis on all your investments. So that way you are at very least highly educated. You watch Market Mondays and now you can say, okay, I made 300. I'm going to take some off the table. I'm going to let some ride.
Let the rest
or I got another 18 months. I'm pretty confident that it's still going to go up. It might pull back in the short term, but I have a high level of confidence that over the next 18 months, the stock is going to be higher than it is right now today.
And in the spirit of InvestFest, even though you didn't ask Dave, A good prompt: act as a world-class investor based on the last 5 years data. What's the average that AMD goes up over a 3-month or 1 year period in this option? And it will start to break down the options and how much they will go up to know if you have some meat left on the bone, pause, or if you should start to take profit. You don't have to guess, because it'll tell you the exact calculation of how much each option, future, asset classes went up and went down. So you can know if you're up 300%, if the average is hypothetically 315, you know how much more room you have to go if you want to maximize or if you want to take the money off the table.
That's good.
And so the you got a port. So tomorrow is earnings. So you're talking about earnings from fear, but you got to look at how the market has performed and how that sector has performed. So we can look at Broadcom, and we can look at Micron. We can look at all these semis and see how they performed, and then we can ask ourselves, what's the sentiment for the sector, right? And then what still is the bullish sentiment around AI? Have data center expansions increased? Well, we just heard Amazon saying they're about to go over 120 billion, right? We just heard Meta, which pulled back because they said our CapEx is going to increase in spending. And so that AI story is still there. The data center story is still there. And then you look at what's happened in the quarter for AMD. Yeah, they've been on a nice run. Did they have any catalyst events inside the quarter? Well, yeah. They announced that they're partnering with this company called OpenAI, who actually owns ChatGPT, right? And so now they have a 10% stake. So it's more advantageous for OpenAI to perform, and we're seeing it. They're right about to hit 1 billion monthly users. Having a 10% stake, well, where are they going to get that compute from? Yes, it's going to be from Nvidia, but it makes even more sense to have something that's going to cost less, which they can have in-house, right? Which is AMD. And in addition, they have new products, right? So we've been talking about this on Market Mondays for a while, but the M1350 is about to start getting into that cycle of revenue, right? So that's that GPU that is the next tier, right? So when we talk about Nvidia and we're talking about obviously Hopper, but now Blackwell and Blackwell Ultra in a few months, AMD is now putting that second tier GPU in market, and the people who can't afford at this level will be able to get at this level. So you take all that into account. You see that the moves that they're making. You see that Lisa Su is becoming more visible. You see the partnership she's having. It feels like there's a bullish case. So we'll see. I like it, but the reason why I like to say buy time is because you buy in those catalyst events. So when you did it in January, I'm already calculating, if I do something out to June next year, that's at least 4 to 5 earnings reports.
It gives yourself time.
Got it.
Right. That's at least 4 to 5 of them that we're going to calculate inside there. There's going to be innovation inside there. There's going to be partnerships announced inside there. There's going to be volatility that's going to be priced inside there. And so we're using all that to our advantage when we make that call, when it goes out over a year, plus the tax incentives, right? If you would have bought a January contract, there's going to be some short-term capital gains, whereas now when you're in June, there's long-term capital gains. Because the great thing is, like, yeah, you've made this money, right? That 300 or 400% potentially by tomorrow. But if you got to pay capital gains tax on that, then you got to make sure that when you get those gains that are realized, that you have the money to pay those taxes as well, which is a lot of people have to remember inside of investing.
Yeah, I realized that I need to ask a really immature question of, like, what should I do versus finding out what's happening and even ask you all the questions. Because I know people come up to you, yo, should I buy this? Or I think the next conversation that I have with you all will be backed by some reasoning of what I'm doing. Saying, okay, I see this, I see this, I see this. What do you make of that in terms of my question asking? Because then I'll get a better answer versus, yo, what do you think I should do? So,
but it's still a great question.
You have to be educated to ask the question.
Yeah.
I like this segment with you, Dave. Yeah, we should have you back as a regular at least once a month, because now people can actually see your trading journey in real time and go through all of the aspects as far as the emotional and ups and downs. But before you leave, my last thing is the Bitcoin situation. Remember, we was on stage and you asked Ian about Bitcoin, and I think it was like, I don't know where it was at, 80, 70, around that range.
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, it's a good time to buy. And then you was like, well, how do you know? Like, how are you sure? So Bitcoin now, it's been, like I said, it's been hovering around $110,000. So from that standpoint, in less than a year, Bitcoin is up $40,000. So did you
No,
buy
I
Bitcoin?
didn't buy it, bro. Like, leave me alone. No, I'm
Why
sorry.
would you listen to your boy?
I know, man. I know.
It's okay. It's okay.
I didn't have faith, and I'm
Hey,
sorry.
so you don't have faith in me?
It will never happen again, bro. It'll never happen again.
Thank you.
I should have bought a Bitcoin at that time.
Well,
Yes,
that
okay.
was a hell of a time. That was a layup time, but it's okay. I got you.
I just showed Shadi a text I got from a dude in my neighborhood, and it says, "Today I'm the Dave Shands." Am I lying? It says, "Oh, whatever the dude's name is." I said, "Laugh out loud, Dave Shands." He's like, "Yo, yeah, I'm gonna be him." So people are hearing your story on Market Mondays every week, and they're like, "That's gonna be me."
I like this, bro. Yeah, that chat, man. I hope they was listening to that Chat GPT, like just finding out what's going. The wealth of the world is on that.
Also, today, regardless
of
what's going on in the world, biggest piece of advice: your targets for your exit have to remain the same.
Yeah.
So regardless of what happens with Trump or whoever wins next that Peter Thiel picks, my targets and futures remain the same year round. It takes a lot of the frustration. That's why Rashad kept saying, listen, if you take profit, you don't lose that way. So if your first target is 100% and your second is 400, it doesn't matter who's in office. Those should always be your targets.
Let me ask this though. Let's say, for instance, you hit your target, but you see something that gives you confidence to stay in. Are you in a disciplined space where it's like, yo, I'm just going to take it and then maybe go back in? Or based on what's happening, do you let it ride?
You should always follow your plan and then start to size up.
Yeah, and this is great because we talked about this last week as well. If I've hit my target and I've taken out my initial investment and it's a strong company, like I literally have done this probably 5 or 6 times. I like to call it, I start stacking my calls, right? So like I've done it with Nvidia, and I shout out to everybody that gave me the congratulations. I've stacked Nvidia calls from $20, with our obviously stock split take into account, to $45, to $80, to $100. I have probably 8 calls on Nvidia, and as I see that price and the announcements and the catalyst events and the innovation that they announced, I keep stacking. I've done it with Micron. I've done it with Broadcom. Right? I've done it with Celestica. If I believe in the company and the fundamentals are there and the technicals are showing me that this is something that's going to continue, I do it. Right? So like I always invest the money. Like Shai said, I don't treat it like a checking account where it's like, yeah, we made 20,000, we made 30,000. No, I'm looking at like, okay,
where do I deploy?
How many more contracts? Can I go back into this position and grab some more contracts so we can let this run? Can we do 100% again? Then
you can talk real crazy on them hot seats. What made you pick this dumbass business? You can't even braid hair. Your beard off. How you a barber?
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
How many companies are in the portfolio in terms of your options like portfolio? How many companies are in there?
Options. I have one. I'll just tell you. I got AMD. Yep. I have Netflix. So it's nasty.
Netflix. Don't be mad at that.
MU is going crazy.
See, you don't even know. I said Micron 5 times. That's Micron.
MU is MU. Ridiculous.
No, I don't think so.
Who gave you that one?
Huh?
So you got MU, you got
MU,
Netflix.
I got Meta.
AMD, Meta. That was recent.
Yeah, I got ASML. I just got ASML today.
Today?
Today.
Yep.
Today.
So you got 4.
Yep. ASML, Meta, MU, Netflix,
stay right there.
AMD. 5.
Stay right there. Just 4 is a sweet spot.
Okay.
Shands, my brother, man. Thank you for joining us.